Hi, Christine here at the Craft Table to share with you a pattern that I love. I will call it my current favorite socks because it is. These are socks made by my favorite sock designer. Full disclosure, I haven't made that many sock patterns in my life, but I made a couple as a crocheter. And Olga is my favorite designer, and usually I started out loving her pattern called Socks for Chubby Feet because it had such a great fit, but I also love this pattern. It's called her Simple Socks or V-Stitch Socks, and the reason I'm loving these, especially this time of year, spring, summer, is because they are so nice and airy. Because it's the V-Stitch sock, you have some nice airflow there. You can see my hand through it. And that makes them very comfortable. I wear them all night long and never get warm in them. So, love this pattern. And I just finished these. I made these with Premier Yarn Fruits, and the colorway is Lime. And what can I say? I love this pattern. It starts with some double crochets, and then it goes on to the V-stitch, and then you do the heel in single crochet, and then the post, or the ankle in the post stitches. The pattern works up very quickly because of those V-stitch. Those rows just fly. The heel portion is a little bit challenging when you first start her patterns. She uses this same heel structure in both of the patterns of her socks that I've made. She's probably got 4 or 5 sock patterns, but I've only made 2 of them. Several times of each. So anyway, she has a video tutorial on YouTube, so I highly encourage you to follow it for the heel portion especially, till you get the hang of it. Purchase the pattern, of course, if you want to make multiple pairs like I do, because once you know that heel, then you just use the paper to follow and create as many pairs as you want to. One tip I have for this heel portion is as you're working this back portion, you're going back and forth, you're picking up these stitches here. And when you pick them up, I always put a stitch marker on either side of the next stitch that I need to pick up, just so I don't lose my place or pick up the wrong stitch, because then you'll get to the top and you'll be higher on one side than the other or something. So stitch marker on the next stitch that you're going to be using, or the one you just did, whatever works best for you, but I would use stitch markers at each side of this. It's like an 11 stitch row that you're going back and forth. And that really helps me just stay on track. And that's the only addition I would make to her pattern to help you along. I think this is so easy that it's even doable by a beginning crocheter, as long as you get the V-stitch down, which is just double crochets, basically. Double crochets and skip stitches. And your single crochet, and then going around the post. A lighter color is always a good choice when you're starting out also, because darker colors are challenging. We all know us crocheters. That's why a lot of people don't like working with black because it is so hard to see. And that is why I love my window behind me when I'm working with a dark color. That crochet happens during the brightest part of the day with my window wide open, so I get a lot of sunlight. Anyhow, I digress. I used a total of 324 yards for the pair, so that is just over 1 skein. It's like 1 1/3 skeins of the Premier Fruits yarn if you're going to use that yarn, which again I highly recommend. They're very comfy, and I've also noticed I have another pair of socks that I made with Premier yarns that were primarily acrylic, and they wash and wear so well. They look the same as they did when I crocheted them, and I've washed them dozens of times. So I'm really happy about that, because with my wool socks, they don't quite weather as well. And it's just because I'm throwing them in the washer. I know a lot of people wash their hand crocheted socks by hand, or their hand knit socks by hand, but I'm not going to do that. You know, however they handle the washer, that's how I'm going to handle it. And they're okay, you know, the wool socks, they're but they do get a little bit fuzzy as time goes by. It's wool, you know, even the hand wash wool. So I usually toss them in the washer with my regular load of clothes, and then I just hang them to dry. I don't put them in the dryer. I don't even put the acrylic ones in the dryer. I just hang them all. So anyhow, yeah, great pattern, easy for beginners. I'll pop up some pictures of the other pairs I've made. I think this is my 3rd or 4th pair of this pattern. So that's a testament to how much I love this pattern. And if you make them, leave a comment. Tell me what you thought, because yeah, I think you'll love it. I think you'll love this pattern. So with that, oh, quick comment on the scarf I'm wearing. This is by Moran at Crochet Object Knitting, also known as Mdays. I think her title is now Mdays on YouTube. She has a vlog, and she sells her pattern for this cute little scarf. It's called the Mdays scarf on her Etsy shop, and she talks about it in her videos as well. So I'll post one of those videos so you can learn about this cute little scarf. I have made this twice now, and I love it. It's really short. That's how short it is. It's just, and it just gives you a little something else for a plain shirt, or and just a tiny bit of warmth. Not really worn for warmth, but just a little accent of color there. And so another great pattern. Mostly double crochets, I think, and single crochets, and then a cute little ruffle on the bottom. I do not recommend a dark mohair for this ruffle, because that gave me some grief. Again, just seeing my stitches on a dark yarn, mohair no less, and lace weight or fingering weight. So yeah, but we got her done, and I love this little scarf. So thanks for watching. I hope you'll try the pattern.